we started restoring bikes. I grew up, my father restored antique cars and tractors. So I had the antique bug when I was very young. And Tony contacted us about a 1936, and we didn't have one at the time, but we had a 37 in pieces, our project. And Tony said, well, let's build that one then. We strive to do correct, accurate restorations. I'm a former chief judge of the Antique Motorcycle Club of America. We've restored many, many antique bikes to 95 points plus out of a scale of 100. And usually they get better than 95. The 37 Dash is a 1 year only. It has mechanical gauges for the amp and oil pressure, and a 1 year only speedometer. They're very, very rare. I got the dash cover from a guy in Wisconsin who needed another year, and I traded him and gave him some boot money. We rebuilt the speedometer, we rebuilt the gauges, the switches, and rewired all, or refurbished all the dash base and everything. We realized this is going to be a static display, but someday someone is going to own it and they can ride it, depend on it. Fully functional, fully dependable. We really strive to make them run as good as they look. The transmission has all new Andrews gears and shafts. We've been having trouble in the past with laying down the decals, so we have an artist come in and hand do the decals on the gas tanks with gold and silver leaf. They really pop in the sunshine. We have original paint samples for location and our striping and everything, and we strive to become as accurate as we can. The whole bike has all new bearings, bushings, and everything. It's probably a little better than it came out of the factory, but that's the way we roll. We've got a reputation for quality. We have a reputation for using them. This restoration took about 3 years, maybe closer to 4. We started out with just a pile of parts and added to it and sourced what we didn't need or didn't have, and we retubed half the frame. We have a frame jig, and usually the frames are all rotted or for repairs or whatever. And we started out with that, retubed it, straightened it, metal finished it, so any repairs are not visible. We resurfaced the wheel hubs because they were all pitted, and fit up new bearings, set up the end plate, new spokes, original rims. We have new tires, tubes. The engine, we put new flywheels and rods and pins and converted it to upgrade so you can line bore the engine cases. We coated the pistons. We have moly on the skirts and ceramic on the crowns. And the heads, we repaired all the fins. We sleeved the cylinders back to standard. We have nitride coated pit valves, cast iron guides. We hard chromed the rocker arms and cylindrical ground them to oversize and fit them, and plus made our own thrust washers for the open rockers. The toolboxes, well, they're pretty hard to find and real expensive, and usually beat the hell out of, but this one here is a real one. Had to do a lot of work to straighten it out, but it works perfect. The forks, they're 1 year only. They had a hallmark number, which was number 3, I believe. That's what this has, 3 or 4. And then the rear leg is a swept forward. It's all been repaired and straightened and everything, and it's a proper one. The handlebars, we used an original casting, and then a friend of ours in Michigan retubed them and makes the spiros. And then with Colony hardware inside, they work better than new. The seat, we have a non-vented seat pan, and we straightened it out, did all the repairs on it, painted it up, and sent it off to the saddle shop in Florida and had it recovered. The bearing surfaces are usually pitted and well worn, so the bearings don't roll, they skate. So we went to great expense to have bearing cages machined up for the pinion bearing, the sprocket bearing, and the small and large wheel bearing that were machined correct so that the bearings roll instead of float. And then we set up the end play, and then you got 36 and 37 had little windows in their covers on their stars. So we got correct ones of those. We welded them up, metal finished them and everything.